The dusty highways of West Texas stretched out like veins under the scorching sun that September afternoon in 2023. Jack Harlan, a 50-year-old trucker hauling freight from El Paso to San Antonio, gripped the wheel of his rig with calloused hands scarred from his days in the Marines. Widowed and broken after losing his wife, Karen, and their daughter, Lily, to a drunk driver 5 years back, Jack lived for the road the endless miles that drowned out the ghosts. But on that lonely stretch near the Rio Grande, he spotted her, a young woman slumped against a wrecked pickup, blood staining her jeans and tank top, her dark hair matted with sweat and dirt. She was Hispanic, mid-20s, with a fighter's build and eyes that could cut glass. In the border country, where cartels ran wild and IC patrols hunted like wolves, stumbling on someone like her screamed trouble. Rewards were posted for cartel affiliates $10,000 ahead from rival gangs or feds. Jack's gut twisted. He could call it in, pocket the cash, and buy enough bourbon to forget. But her labored breathing, the way she clutched her side, echoed Lily's final moments in that hospital bed. One choice meant safety, the other, a potential death sentence. What does a man with nothing left do when compassion could cost everything? Her name was Sofia Reyes, daughter of Diego Reyes, the infamous leader of the Los Lobos cartel, evading federals and rivals across the border. At 24, she'd been raised in the shadows of violence, trained to handle a Glock better than most men, vanish into the night like a ghost, and strike without mercy. But with a bullet from a rival hit squad lodged in her ribs, she looked vulnerable, her fierce spirit dimmed by pain. Jack pulled over, his boots crunching gravel as he approached. "Easy there," he muttered, rifle in hand, but pointed down. Sophia's eyes flew open, her hand snatching a concealed knife, pressing it to his throat in a blur. "Gringo devil," she spat in accented English, her voice raw but unyielding. Blood loss weakened her, but defiance burned bright. Jack froze, palms up. "I'm not here to hurt you. Your shop battle me help." She scanned his face, hunting for deceit, the cruelty she'd seen in border agents and betrayers. What she found was raw sorrow, etched deep like canyons in his weathered skin. The blade trembled. She lowered it. "Why?" she demanded. "Because you remind me of my kid," Jack admitted, his voice cracking. "Because I got zilch to lose. Because maybe fixing one mess balances the crap I've let slide." Time ticked like a bomb. Border patrol drones could buzz overhead any second. In a region where helping undocumented or cartel-tied folks meant federal charges, Jack was crossing into felony territory. But he knelt, pulling a first aid kit from his cab, injecting painkillers and bandaging her wound. Her shirt tore open at the shoulder, revealing tan skin bruised purple. She was stunning, like a wildfire, beautiful and deadly. "You need a hospital," he said, tying the wrap. "No," Sophia shot back, steel in her tone. "Take me to my father, Diego Reyes." Every Texan knew the name, the kingpin whose empire spanned smuggling routes, dodging DEA raids for years. That's across the border, through checkpoints swarming with agents hunting your kind. She pushed up, wincing. "Then drive fast. Help, or I'll scream. You tried something, see how that flies in Laredo." The threat landed hard. In these parts, accusations like that got men lynched by mobs or locked up for life. But staring into her unblinking eyes, Jack felt a spark purpose replacing the void since Lily's grave. A thunderstorm brewed as he helped her into the passenger's seat, her body warm against his arm. "Storms coming, will move at dusk, lay low days." She eyed him warily. "I'm no fragile girl needing a savior. No, you're a cartel fighter with a hole in you, riding with a stranger in enemy land. So maybe he'd the guy keeping you breathing." A flicker of amusement crossed her face as lightning cracked. Jack Harlan, ex-Marine, father to a girl who'd be 12 now, widower, loner. "Sophia," she said, testing his name like a weapon. "Daughter of Diego, enforcer for Los Lobos. Smart not to trust me, he replied, hitting the gas. Trust gets you killed here. They drove into the night, evading checkpoints by dirt roads. Sophia faded in and out, fever raging. When awake, she watched him like prey, memorizing every twitch. Border Patrol choppers thrummed overhead once, forcing them to kill lights and huddle in a dry gulch. Hearts pounding, they waited, her hand on his arm, tension electric. "Tell me about your daughter," she whispered during a lucid spell. The question gut punched him. "Lily, curly blonde like her mom, stubborn as me. Gone at 7 in a wreck. She loved bedtime stories, princesses who fought dragons themselves." Sophia softened. "My people tell tales of eagles and warriors who defy storms. Grief doesn't care about borders." As the fever peaked, she murmured in Spanish, calling for her mother, lost to a rival ambush years ago. Jack held her in the truck's cab, rain hammering the roof, humming an old lullaby from Lily's nights. Her shivers eased, and for the first time in years, he felt alive, not just surviving. Dawn brought a close call. Agents on ATVs spotted their tracks, forcing them to ditch the rig and hike into canyons. Sophia leaned on him, her curves pressing close, stirring forbidden thoughts he shoved down. Twice she stumbled. Twice he caught her, hands lingering on her hips, guilt warring with need. "Why risk this?" she pressed over shared MREs. "Tired of the wrong side the raids, the walls, calling folks like you animals while we ignore our own messes." Her laugh was sharp. Nice talk from a vet who probably deported families. Truth stung. He'd followed orders in Afghanistan, then border stints, haunted by faces of the displaced. "Yeah, and it eats me alive." She touched his dog tags. "This scar from war?" "Among others. Men who hate war make shaky friends." "Allies," he corrected, the word heavy as they pushed toward Diego's hideout. The camp materialized in a remote arroyo, a cluster of tents and armed guards, remnants of Los Lobos, 15 souls clinging to survival amid turf wars. "Bienvenido," Sophia called weakly, but rifles cocked at Jack, hard-eyed men emerging like shadows. Diego himself stepped forward, 55, silver-streaked hair, commanding as a general who'd brokered truces before betrayal scorched them. He embraced Sophia, eyes locked on Jack. "You bring a gringo to our den, Hija?" "Explain." "He saved me, patched me, got me here instead of cashing in." Diego's English was clipped, learned in U.S. prisons. "What does this Yankee want?" "Nothing," Jack said. "She needed help. I gave it." A young enforcer, scarred from knife fights, sneered. "Lee's gringos always want payoff or payback." Diego silenced him, probing Jack's gaze. "You know me, Diego Reyes, the phantom DEA can't snag. $50,000 on my head. Yet you walk in armed, outnumbered." Seemed right. Jack met his stare. An elder woman muttered in Spanish. Diego, translating. "She says you reek of loss and liquor helpers like you chase gold or ghosts, both toxic." "Ghosts, maybe," Jack confessed. "Your girl's got her mom's fire, your grit. Couldn't save my own, but maybe yours." Sophia vouched. He had chances to sell me out, shared food, meds, cover. Jack offered intel, patrol shifts, drone patterns from his trucking routes, weak spots in border fences. Silence fell. This was gold for evasion. "You give this for free?" Diego asked. "Yeah, you're fighting for family, turf, survival." "I get that." Debates erupted in Spanish, voices clashing like gunfire. Sophia argued fiercely. Diego decided. "We're 12 days from Haven in Mexico, through hell with feds and rivals. Guide us, your family. Betray, I'll carve you slow." "Deal," Jack said. As dusk fell, he joined their fire kids plotting escapes instead of games, women tallying ammo. Purpose flooded him like rain. The ambush hit in Eagle Pass Canyon, where Jack's tips said it'd be clear. 20 agents, rifles ready, as set up to wipe Los Lobos. Jack scouted ahead, spotting the trap. He could bolt, vanish into anonymity. Instead, Lily's memory, Sophia's trust, and the kid's futures propelled him. Bullets whizzed as he charged out, yelling warnings in broken Spanish. One slammed his chest. He dropped behind rocks, firing back as Diego's crew scattered, the trap crumbling. Sophia found him bleeding out, her hands on his face. "Paz, Jack, you saved us." "Did I save Lily too?" he gasped. "Yes," she whispered, tears falling. "She's proud." They buried him at twilight with cartel rites, his pistol beside him, spirit freed. Diego spoke honors. Sophia laid wildflowers on the grave of the gringo, who picked mercy over fear. Decades later, on a quiet ranch, an aged Sophia told her grandkids of the trucker who proved kindness crosses lines. Bravery wears many faces, and true heroes save souls, not just skins. In the end, Jack Harlan redeemed his shattered life in every breath his choice preserved. Lily's echo in the laughter of children who thrive, because one lost man embraced humanity over hate. What do you think? Was Jack a fool for risking everything, or a hero for following his heart? Share your stance in the comments below, and let's debate.